Hi and welcome to our February vlog in which we give you an update about the health awareness this coming month. But you might have noticed that I have been joined by different colleagues in the last couple of months just to give us a bit more of an update about the services we have. And this month I'm joined by our CEO, Beck Van Wallingen. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
And I really asked her to come and give an update with regards to COVID and some other recent happenings at the hospital. Because there has been some things happening, hasn't there?
Yep. Yeah, so I think the most important thing that's been happening is accreditation. So essentially that's a process where the health service gets reviewed by an external body, so someone who doesn't belong to us, and they look at our services and our quality systems and check that we are running appropriately, that we should be a health service, and we get a little tick. So essentially accreditation, there's kind of some things that can happen. So they can come and you can not pass. They can come and you can pass, but they have some recommendations for things to you improve. Or you can come and they can come and you can just pass, and they can be like, all the things you're doing are good, and the plans you have for the future to continuing keeping things safe are good. So that happened for us in January, so just gone. And really great news is that we passed with no recommendations, which means we've passed and they're happy with how we're going and there's nothing really to change, that our improvement systems that we've got going are adequate and they want those to keep going.
Which is fantastic, yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's a really great moment to stop and thank all the staff who were involved. I think ultimately it shows that how we operate day to day is good and working and is safe, but there is a fair bit of work involved in making sure that happens all the time, and there's a little tiny bit of zhuzhing up in preparation for this process. And so every single person in the team, really, considering the impacts of COVID, has done an amazing job to get this great outcome. We thought there might be some recommendations for improvement, but there haven't been, which is really great. So I'm really proud of the service we provide here, and I think this is just a nice opportunity for us to be recognised that we do a good job.
Yeah, which is great, isn't it? And like I say, a lot of hard work, but behind the scenes often.
Yeah.
And we know things are running well, but it's just those little things that you want to make sure.
Yeah, it's always nice to have an external person just come and give you a little tick, just a reassurance.
Exactly. Yeah. And that is every 3 years or every 4 years?
So it's changed. So it used to be for us every 4 years, but there's a new version now, version 2.
Yep.
And that's every 3 years. So it's the first time we've done this new version, and it's quite different. And so that's great news that we've also passed the new version.
Yep.
And it'll be in 3 years. But what will likely happen next time is we won't get much warning. It'll be a spot check. They'll come in. So it's really about long term. They're trying to make the process where it's about your practice every day and not a special event you get ready for. And so we're working towards that really readily and making sure our systems are ready all the time.
Yep. No, that sounds good. So, very important. I mean, the COVID is in our community, and so we just still have to talk about COVID.
Yep.
So, what are the latest updates from the department with regards to that?
Well, I think actually for me the most important thing to talk about is how well our community has responded to COVID. So obviously there is COVID here. There was lots of visitors here in New Year, and local people caught COVID and were exposed to COVID. And so, which I think, was quite frightening. People were worried about that happening, but now it's happened. And people were wonderful. Like, no one blamed anyone else or pointed fingers. Everyone was appropriate. They asked for help if they needed it, and they got tested. And, there was a lot of people at one time. So we responded quite quickly, but sometimes you have to wait, and so people were very respectful of what it took for us to respond and things like that. So I'm just really grateful for the community for such a reasonable and rational response to quite a scary thing. And so now we kind of start to normalize COVID. So you should still be looking after yourself. We don't want people to get COVID. It can have long-term effects and it can make you unwell. So we don't want COVID. But people are doing the right thing. So making sure you're vaccinated, get your booster dose if you're eligible for it. If you're required to isolate or stay at home, please do so. And if you're not sure and you need a RAT test, a RAT test is a rapid antigen test. It's a test you can do at home to show whether you have COVID or not. They're relatively accurate. And so I think, they're the things that people can keep doing, and the community have been doing a really good job of that, I think. So I think in relation to the health service, so there's a statewide code brown.
Yep.
A code brown essentially is to say there's an external emergency that's impacting health services, and that emergency is COVID. It's obviously been here for a while, but now the impacts are very significant for metropolitan health services. So for us here, not a huge amount has changed, but we have to be very careful. And so we've always had two goals. Goal number one is that no one who visits us or has, is seen by us gets COVID because of us. And goal number two is that none of our staff get COVID from work. They're quite lofty goals. We might not always be able to achieve them, but so far we're going quite well. And in alignment with the code brown, it matches that, the kind of aspirations you might have. So we still have got measures in place. We had a discussion, we put out a video last year to the community saying we were trying to bring back services this year. Because of the code brown and the number of COVID cases in our region, we're still watching that. We're not going to have any additional services coming out in February. So all of the groups and the fun stuff that people are missing, we're going to hold that just for February. We really do want to bring them back. So the goal is as soon as possible we will. But right now we're going to hold those because we still have restricted visitors. People are wearing, full N95 masks in the health service. We're isolating staff, and we're not having staff come to work if they've been exposed and things like that. So workforce is a problem. We need to support and manage our workforce, and also we want to make sure that no one comes here or gets COVID from here. So I really apologise in advance. We aren't going to have those groups and those things back, but we're doing everything we can. So if you need to visit one-on-one, we'll try to facilitate that. Some of our groups can do by Zoom, so we're going to keep doing that. Yep. And we're going to look at, can we bring back the group in a tailored way? So, 2 people instead of a whole group. And we'll start looking at that at the end of February to see what we can do.
Yeah, so does that go for social support group?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. So social support group is for, generally it's for people over 65, and what we have been doing is sending care packages and calling them every day, and so we'll keep doing that, and if we can bring that back in an altered form we will, but for the next few weeks we're going to keep things as they are, just because of the number of COVID cases around. I think the thing I want to say to people though is this is not a long-term goal. We're not going to get rid of these services. It's just a response to COVID to keep people safe. The second we can come back, we will. And hopefully we'll come back, bigger and better than ever with more. But right now we just have to, live in this moment and be appropriate and safe for everyone.
Because it is that workforce as well, isn't it? Where, close contact, even if you don't get it, close contact, it does affect the workforce and people that have to stay home where you don't have staff. Yeah,
that's right. And staff is the ultimate pressure. If we don't have staff, we can't have a health service. And so there are exemptions and rules, but we just, want to be respectful of the environment we're in and take the pressure off our staff if we can. Yeah.
No, that's fair enough. And with regards to visitors, best to still maybe call ahead if you want to visit one of your loved ones on a ward?
Yeah, I think with anything at the moment, we've been putting updates on our website, but it changes so quickly, and each circumstance might be different. So you might call with a different need, and we might have a different response to you. So please call ahead. We have got restriction on visitors at the moment in accordance with the guidelines. But there's exemptions and different rules. So call ahead. At the moment, we might give you a test before you come into the health service, but that could change. So call ahead and we'll let you know what you should expect.
Yeah. Okay. And our clinics does still boosters, so people can call the clinic if they're due for their booster shot. Is that still the same timeline? Has that changed? Because I thought it was 3 months, but has that changed again from your second vaccination with the boosters?
So I think, I would say the best advice is to go to the Department of Health website, because it does change a bit. For any of those things, I can give you what I know today, but it'll change. So I think the best advice is always to go to the department's website. They've got like a COVID pathways tab, which is, I go there. It's really interesting and it's really easy to read. So you can go on the department's website and they give the things in relation to what we do. So the clinic is doing boosters. They can book you in. It changes from week to week. So call up and they'll book you you in. And then we're still offering PCR, like so a test, and we're offering them in different ways. So call up, and if you need one, we'll talk to you about what your needs are and help you figure out what's the best for you.
Yep.
Yep.
No, that's great. Okay, anything else that...
No, I think, I like to take a moment and just, welcome everyone to the new year. Yes. Celebrate our victory with accreditation, and that just confirms the service we're providing. And, a big congratulations to everyone for their work with COVID. I know it's kind of hard and scary, and we've kind of got through that first bit, which is good. And now we just got to keep slogging on, and we'll do our best to keep communicating with you about what's happening, and when we can bring things back, we will.
Great. Well,
thanks, Deb.
Thank you very much for explaining that. And if people in the community have any questions, they can also give us a call, and we'll refer them to the right department. So thank you very much, Beck.
Great.
And I now hand over to Amanda to highlight some of the health awarenesses during this month.
Thanks, Sabine. February is Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month. It's an opportunity to educate Australians on ovarian cancer and raise awareness by sharing stories of real women affected by the disease. Ovarian cancer is a malignant tumour in one or both ovaries. It is the 6th most common cause of cancer death in Australian women, and every year there's 1,500 women diagnosed with ovarian cancer in Australia. There's currently no effective screening program for ovarian cancer in Australia, so we all need to be aware of the symptoms. Most commonly reported symptoms include increased abdominal size or persistent abdominal bloating, feeling full after you've eaten just a small amount, abdominal or pelvic pain, so that's low tummy pain, and needing to urinate or go to the loo quite often or urgently. There's also some less common symptoms some women may experience. You know your body better than anyone else, so always listen to what your body's saying and trust your own instincts. It's important to remember all the symptoms mentioned can be caused by other less serious medical conditions. However, if you are experiencing any of the symptoms and they're persistent and troublesome to you, you should see your doctor. They'll be able to examine you and, if necessary, do further tests to find out the cause. You can track your symptoms in a symptom diary and take this record with you to your doctor. And you can download that on the Ovarian Cancer Australia website. Some of the many risk factors for ovarian cancer include being female, increasing age, so that's over 50, most commonly at 64 years of age, and also having a family history of either ovarian, breast or bowel cancer. We can't do anything about those symptoms, but there are other symptoms that are more modifiable. They include never having given birth or early onset of periods, experiencing late menopause, so that's over 55, never taken the contraceptive pill, having endometriosis, previous breast cancer and diabetes, smoking, being overweight or obese, and being on long-term estrogen-only menopause replacement therapy or fertility treatments. There are some protective factors though: having children before the age of 35, breastfeeding, taking combined hormone contraceptives, and surgical removal of the ovaries and fallopian tubes. So take action this February for Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month and host a teal tea. For a morning tea with colleagues, to a picnic on a Sunday with friends, you can bring people together to raise vital funds to support those affected by Australia's deadliest female cancer. February is also a time to highlight Red Feb. So Heart Research Australia are inviting the community to wear red for someone close to your heart to help keep families together for longer. Heart disease affects 2 in 3 Australians and is still our leading cause of death. 170 Australians every day have a heart attack. 50 Australians are diagnosed with heart disease every day. So getting involved is as simple as wearing red and donating. What you do in your red is 100% up to you. So get a team together and run, walk, cook, clothes swap, whatever fills you with joy. So join the amazing Red Feb crew today. The money you raise will help support researchers in their quest to find breakthroughs for heart disease. We're already down 1 month in 2022. To make the best start for the year, we all need to focus on our own individual well-being during these challenging times. So what is well-being? Well-being is not just the absence of disease or illness, it's a complex combination of physical, mental, social and emotional well-being. In researching for this vlog, I came across some interesting research from the Royal Melbourne Hospital. It's called 5 Ways and is about the modifiable determinants of well-being. Here are some suggestions that we can all do. Number 1, connect. Find time each day to focus on the people who matter most in our lives, whether that be our partner, our children, our parents, our friends. Connect via phone, text, write a letter, Skype, Facebook, WhatsApp, whatever floats your boat. Be active, take a walk, participate in some online exercise or yoga, break out those dance moves. Consistent physical activity is well known to lower stress and anxiety and improve our mood, not to mention strengthening our immune system. Keep learning. Read books, join an online library, enrol in a short online course, complete puzzles and quizzes, learn to paint and draw. Be aware. Practice forgiveness. That's pretty hard. Look for opportunities every day to let go of the judgments we make about others. Make the first move to smooth a potential rift with someone that is close to you. Practice gratitude. Make a habit of noticing all the things that are right in our lives, focusing rather than focusing on the negative. Because as hard as this time is, it could be much, much worse. Experience our own backyard, smell the flowers, lay down on the grass and look up at the sky. Finally, help others. Find a way to be of service every day. Check in on your neighbours. Who around you needs a meal delivered, their mailbox checked, their pet walked, or a phone call of support. Of course, don't forget to keep up to date with your regular screenings, blood tests, etc. These are all considered essential services and remain open and available. See you next month. Back to you, Sabine.
Thanks, Amanda, for highlighting those health awareness events. I just want to point out as well that this month, February is FebFast, and we are joining again. TDHS is joining again, and you can join us too if you would like to. With the new year, there might be just something little that you would like to pause for, that could be alcohol, or it could be social media, or you could even pause for chocolate or anything, but just something small if you want to. We'll put on the link to register with our team, or you can also join and make your own team if you want to. And I would just like to thank the community again for being a wonderful community and respectful, and work as a team and working together for a healthy community. Thank you. Thanks, Beck.